Hi folks, we're Tacitus today, your pushback channel, and thank you for joining this audio live stream. Please listen to this presentation as you would a radio broadcast. In this essay, I'd like to talk about a recent barbecue I went to where, again, I was the only one that wasn't a senior public servant or a wealthy lawyer or judge. It was an interesting sort of, I've been to these before, but it came up and about Trump and the US and the terrible things that are happening in the US. Oh, terrible! It's so terrible what's happening in the US. Whoa! Oh, wow! Well, tell me, what's terrible that's happening? Oh, Trump and Trump and. But sure, okay, but exactly, precisely what is it that's terrible? Oh, just terrible. Oh, just terrible. And nobody could actually name what these terrible things were, and there were sort of other people there, and I tried to dig it out, and really their answers were no better than the blue-haired college kid on some left-wing campus. It was that the answers I getting back was that same standard. It was all just straight Democrat, leftist, globalist talking points without any understanding of the issues. Now, there's a difference between some low IQ college kid, 20 years old or whatever, doing gender studies, and a public servant who's turning 60 or in their 50s, or a judge or a lawyer, or so. These people are among the best paid people in Australia, with some of the the biggest paychecks, the most prestigious jobs, and that when they make pronouncements, everyone goes, "Oh, well, they know the best because they're the smart people." Now, these people are all every one of them is very anti-Trump. They are bewildered to the point of super bewilderment that he won the election. And there's a few disturbing trends here. They equate white working class people with Nazis. That the two terms are almost fused into one. So white working class people are not white working class people in white. No, they're now Nazis. In fact, it's interchangeable. The terms are interchangeable. When you say white working class, what you really mean is Nazi. And when you say the word Nazi, what you really mean is white working class. It's that bad now. But what are these? Who are these people that have this view that Trump is terrible, but they can't explain why? On the other side, on the flip side, one of them was saying how presidential Kamala was. Kamala Harris is going now. So the drunken word salad moron that's there for all the world to see. No. She's a top flight candidate. Oh wow! I mean, she's so presidential. When she gets in front of the microphone and she gets in front of the crowd, you are dealing with a fucking political genius. Biden having dementia. He hasn't got dementia. Oh, I mean, he slips a couple of times, but no, he's very presidential. Very presidential. Biden was a great president. He was a great president. I mean, look how many votes he got. I mean, he's a great president, very presidential. And this nonsense about he's lost his faculties. I mean, it's Nazi Hitler was saying that because Biden was a fucking kick-ass president who was in complete and total command of his faculties. Now, this is the sort of conversation that's going around the table, and what? Kamala, a presidential candidate? I mean, what planet are you guys living on? But they look at a very curated version of the news. They have never seen one of Kamala's word salads, for example. They only see short little clips of when, if you edit it heavily enough, anyone can be made to look presidential. Biden, they've never seen Biden's gaffes and the way he slurs and the way they've never seen that. They've even the debate with Trump, where Biden was clearly off his rocker. They only saw very edited cuts of that, 5 seconds here, a few seconds there, that took out all Biden's gaffes and made the few bits that would make him look like he knew what he was talking about and so on. That's all they saw. They didn't see the whole thing, nor did they try and look for it, or nor did they try and get informed. They've just been delivered this very tightly scripted, globalist curated news and information, and they've just accepted that verbatim. They haven't queried it or questioned it or doubted it, even where the logic doesn't stack up, where clearly, well, hold on a minute, if A, then clearly B has to follow A. Why are we going from A to X or something? What happened in the bits in between? They're not even asking the basic questions where clearly the logic is very flawed. They're not even doing that, just accepting that curated version. Now you'd say, okay, well, for the college kid, dumbass IQ 80 college kid, you go, okay, well, what do you expect? But this is not what these people are. Now, every one of these people has been to an expensive private high school, the Ivy League end of the high school scale. They've all been to where the very best education is available, and where in relative proportion you get far more bright people coming out of those schools than you do the government schools. So they've gone to the very best schools, and most of them would have been going through those schools during the time when merit was still played quite a large role in your exam results and outcomes. So they must have been able to apply themselves to their studies to a successful degree. Then they went on to Ivy League universities during the days when, again, merit did play a big role, when given their age today, it did play a big role. So they've gone on to universities and Ivy League universities and have come away with prestigious degrees from prestigious universities. And most of them joined the public service sort of fresh out of university, or they went into organisations that relied 100% on government, patronage and government business. For example, one guy went to work for a law firm straight out of university, but that law firm, their only client was the government, and they got a lot of work. So that guy effectively was a government employee, and then he became a judge, and so again he's on the government payroll. Now all of these guys are being paid. All these people are being paid $500,000 plus, and when you add in the benefits and the this, that, the next thing. For example, there's one where they've got an executive dining room type thing, which is the imported French chef and all this sort of thing. So it's a sumptuous affair so their lunches are or their dinner, their meals. They can have a top of the range a la carte cuisine for breakfast, lunch, and dinner if they want, and many do. And their wine. The wine is free, and so they're able to lunches that if you went out into the commercial market, you'd be paying $200 plus for per head. They get for free every day. So you look at the benefits of the sort of the added benefits to their salary. Now all of them live in 99.9% white areas. So they only do. So when they have parties and gatherings and interactions and this, that, the next thing, it's whites only. There's not a brown or black person in sight, and they're all married to white women, or in the event it's a white woman to a white man. So there's no embracing the multicultural sort of society from these people. They live in all white areas. So one of them was proudly announced that in his department or section or whatever it was, that he proudly announces it to the crowd, by the way, as if it's some great, wonderful and virtuous thing, that they've now achieved 0 white people in their department, apart from him. There's 0 white people in their department, and this is a wonderful thing. This is a truly wonderful thing, and I thought everyone was going to, the way they all the oohs and ahs, I thought they're all going to roll around on the floor, thanking the Lord for their salvation or something. But what? Why is that a good? Why would you mention that? In a white country like Australia, saying, and I haven't employed it. I've got rid of every single white person out of my department. They go, oh wow, clap, clap, clap. What? So that's the sort of people we're dealing with here. But going through, I sat down sort of with a few of them, and every one of them I asked, well, you don't like what Trump's doing or done. what has he done that you don't like? What policies are bad, or in what ways? And none of them could answer it. There were shoulder shrugs. Oh well, he's just not presidential. I don't like the way he talks to the media. But okay, coming back to the policies, what has he done that you don't like or disagree with? I mean, can you name one? And again, it's the same answers you get from the bluehead college kids. It's almost as if they both have the same scriptwriter into their responses. It's both, so I don't know. Oh, off the top of my head, I can't think of one. Oh, I don't know. But they're just going along with the general sort of ideological propaganda type message that the globalists have very successfully put. But if you can get the brightest people, or the ones that have had the best education, and these people have had the best education Australia can offer, at high school and at university level. If you can get people that well educated to behave like absolute college kid moron, bluehead college kid morons, and say this exact same thing. If you get an interview on the street from college kids' videos, and the answers you get from them, but the same answers, word for word almost, same answers I was getting from senior public servants that are getting paid, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 a year, or judges, getting paid $500,000 a year, this sort of thing. And I mean, and if that's the elite, then, and that's the condition of the elite, how easily they've been ideologically captured, then we're fucked. We are fucked. More disturbing still, I mean, that was disturbing enough, that when I tried to explain a few things, for example, a simple concept, say, okay, well, Trump has a habit, which I don't think serves him that well, but he's got a habit of just coming out and talking to the media with no script, no rehearsed lines, no speech written for him. He just talks off the cuff. And now these people hold that against him and say, well, look how unpresidential he is. All right, then, well, the definition of presidential then is that somebody has a speech writer, and they practice and rehearse the speech for days on end, and then deliver the speech off a teleprompter, and they're completely curated and stage managed and the whole thing. So does that make someone presidential? A stage managed speech written for them by someone else that they read for a teleprompter. Is that what makes someone presidential? Oh well, yeah. Since you put it like that, that's probably not the okay. So Trump coming out and talking to the media without a rehearsed, practice, pre-written teleprompter speech. Why does that mean he's not presidential? Is that what you pay a president or hire or elect a president for? Just to read speeches of a teleprompter that someone else wrote for them and they've rehearsed for days. I mean, is that it? And and I still couldn't really get an answer out of that. But the sad thing was that these people, again, very well educated, highly paid, prestigious jobs, folks were giving the same answers as the college kids do, bluehead college kids. The more concerning still, though, was how and this has sort of happened over time, and the globalist propagandists need to be held to account for this, that really white working class people are now held to be synonymous with Nazis, and everything that the name Nazi conjures up in the fevered imaginations of journalists and policymakers and so on. So because once you go down, look, they're all Nazis, well, then they all must be Hitler. Must be Hitler. Every single one of them is Hitler. Every single one of them has a swastika hidden under their bed, and so on. So the fevered imagination, and this applied to these people when they spoke about Trump. They had this view that anything Trump does, given it's approved of by working class white people, must be the work of Hitler. It must be. Look. Okay, I mean, you can reverse that and say, okay, well, Billy Bob, the senior part, you're drinking water right now. You took a sip of water. Hitler drank water. So you drink water. Hitler drank water. That means you are fucking Hitler. You fucking Nazi. You swastika-waving, goose-stepping, sick-hauling fucking Nazi. Are you saying Hitler never did drink water? Is that what you're saying? You fucking... I'm not sure I really want to talk about this with you. Well, no, hold on a minute. If that's if you take that leap of faith to apply negative stuff to Trump, should it not then be applied with that same lack of rigor to you or anybody? And then it comes around. The conversation comes around. Well, no, it's okay when we do it because we're not Nazis. They are the Nazis, not us. Therefore, whatever we do is okay. Whatever they do is not okay. That's the situation, and that's really what it boils down to. And on the basis that we probably would never be invited back again anyway, I sort of persisted, not with vulgarity, but I persisted in it, and I couldn't find anyone who could. They would say, "Oh, Trump is terrible. Oh, he's terrible," but not one of them, not one at any time, could explain what policies. Why is it terrible? How is it terrible? But none of them knew about Kamala or Joe, because Biden. So when I talked about like Biden's gaffes at the debate, when he did the debate with Trump, where he could barely get a word out, they didn't know about that. They just stared blankly at me. Oh no, I saw some bits of that debate. I thought that Biden did pretty well, and so Kamala's word salads, her sort of drunken and her idiotic utterances, they had no idea. Again, they just stared blankly at me. Now, one of them said, I think the mass migration thing is probably getting a little out of hand. So maybe Trump's onto something with, slowing down the migration. That was the only concession in the whole time, that just one person was prepared to make that concession. The rest not so. When I mentioned about that close to 12 million illegal aliens had come in through the southern border into the United States, again, I got a blank stare in return. Oh, it wasn't anywhere near the amount. It was just a few thousand, wasn't it? And again, they didn't know. So this is the level of not only the curated news that they're given, but how they just accept that curated news as fact. Now, I've suggested, well, there's a number of other sort of websites that do give an uncurated version of the news. And they say, oh no, that's just Nazi propaganda. The stuff we look at is the good stuff. Everything else is Nazi propaganda. So again, the information flow, they're not prepared to look at any other information. This is all very disturbing. But the thing that really stuck out was, how these very senior, well-paid people spoke in exactly the same way as, again, the bluehead college kids, and how now working class people in the West are considered as Nazis. Very, very tragic. I don't know where this is going to end, but it's not a good path to be on. You've been with Tassus today, your Pushback channel. Thank you for listening.